to another series of QPR Fans, Our Stories. The Hoops and Dreams Forum likes to involve fans in our podcast wherever possible and discover the fans behind the name. It's a chance to ask fans about themselves, their memories, and the players and the managers, everything that means the most to them. So, on to this podcast guest, and it's a very warm welcome to Saffa Michail. Hello, Saffa.
Hi, Brian. Thanks for having me on.
No, I'm really pleased that it's worked out. So let's get on to the question straight away. How long have you supported the R's and why?
I was originally from Northolt before when I grew up, so kind of quite a good QPR following there. And yeah, as long as I can remember, I followed QPR, so all my life really.
Okay, that's good. That explains an awful lot. Yeah, I'm from over that area as well. I'm from West Drayton, so I remember it well. So next question then is going to be quite interesting, isn't it? Do you live far from West 12?
I do. So I'm actually down on the Isle of Wight of all places now. It was quite funny. I really started getting into QPR when I was kind of like 9, 10 years old. And then when I was 11, my mum married and I had to move down to the Isle of Wight. So yeah, I am. That's where I am now. I had to wait till I was 15 until she let me travel, but she let me from there and then I've not stopped ever since.
Am I right in saying that you've done quite a few away trips from the Isle of Wight, some of which have been quite hairy because of trying to get the ferries and everything organised?
Yeah, absolutely. That is it is the thing. It's not so much the distance actually. It is the boat back is the tough one. I normally it depend on where it is, but you've got a 12 o'clock midnight ferry and then a 3 o'clock. So the 3 o'clock is quite a regular one. It's the most depressing depressing piece of water in the world, I'm telling you when we've lost. That's the one.
Uh, yeah, I did wonder about that, whether it was like Cinderella, you had to be home at a certain time. Okay. So do you have a favourite QPR strip?
Yeah, to be honest, you said to bring one. Where? So this is the one I'm wearing now. It's the QPR Guinness. Absolute favorite. Yeah, 100%.
Good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think everybody's got their own favourite ones, and sometimes there's lots of memories associated with them. Is there any memories associated with your one?
To be honest, no, because it was I'm 35, so it's before my time, sadly. But
Ah,
I've just it's so iconic, isn't it? You know, even for people that don't follow QPR, that Guinness strip is the one. No connection to it myself, but I just absolutely love that shirt.
ah. And can you remember your first match that you ever went to?
Yeah, I did. So my first game we played, we were playing Cardiff. And yeah, we won 2-1 and I was stood in the upper we were in the upper loft with my best mate at the time, David, who I went to school with. And my parents never took me to football when I was that old. So his brother, I always remember his brother cancelled my first taste of Loftus Road, that was, and I absolutely fell in love with it since then. So it was we won 2-1. I think Andy Thompson scored both goals. So it was a great day.
And you mentioned the upper loft. Are you still, when you travel up to Loftus Road, are you still sitting in the upper loft?
No, I've been since I got my season ticket, I sit in our block, so I stand in our block, I should say. So that's where I've been ever since. But yeah, it's a great place. But yeah, our block is our regular now.
Okay, I just wondered. Yeah, you get quite a good view from there, and it's quite lively, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and we've got. I said our part where we sit in, they're genuinely the people that are like family to us. They really are. So it's our little community there, but it's been there for years now. So yeah, it's not bad. Worst places to be for sure.
All right, so let's move on. Do you have any favorite QPR players over the time that you've been that you've followed them and that they're your all-time favorites?
Yeah, so for me, my absolute number one is Lee Cook. I absolutely loved Lee Cook.
Okay,
Um,
there's a lot
I just,
about you.
yeah, I just have distinct I just remember every single week, getting to Loftus Road and watching him just terrorize every fullback he was, playing against. I mean, obviously when he left and what he did with his, giving his part of the transfer fee back to the club was great. I was just such a tragedy. Injury stopped him from kind of having a real crack at the top flight because I personally think he would have really flourished there. But an amazing player, and I don't know whether to say don't meet your heroes, but when I met him, yeah, my opinion went through the roof for him even after then. So I absolutely loved him. I'm a proper Lee Cook little fanboy. I adored him when I was little.
Hey, that's good. No, all right, that's nice. Good choice, I think, actually, as well. Uh, do you manage to get to any of the pre-season matches, or I know you get to the away games. You do get the away games, don't you?
Yeah, no, I do the aways. I must be honest, pre-season, I did a couple of them. I'm going back quite a long time now, maybe 15 years ago, something like that. And yeah, it was an absolute shambles. I think one of our was cancelled as well and I thought, pre-season is it for me now. So I've done the odd pre-season one, but no, I stick to home and away, not so much pre-season nowadays.
So we won't see you at Brighton and Tottenham.
No, this is the thing. I do like we had Palace a couple of years ago, didn't we? And I went to that one, so I do occasionally get roped in. I might do them too, to be fair. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I was hoping that we were going to play Brighton at home. That would be nice for me.
That would, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Not so bad
Yeah.
for you either.
No,
Or
I'd have taken that one.
excluding the playoff final, what is the best game that you remember?
It's funny when you ask me this, and I've thought long and hard about this one. But I must say, for me, I felt that night in our survival season when we played Liverpool was, being 2-0 down. And I just remember that when Mackie scored in the last minute for the 3-2 win, and that transformed our season, that game. But I remember I was honestly jumping for about a week. That was a pretty special one. And obviously, when we beat Chelsea at home in that same season as well was a cracker as well.
Oh,
But so many. But yeah, I think those would probably be my pick, to be fair.
no, they're really good choices. Really good. Okay. Who is your favorite manager and why?
So for me, from when I started following QPR, and I still think to most people, even people that have followed QPR from a longer period, they always look back at that day at Hillsborough and the team that we had back then, obviously with Ian Holloway. So for me personally, I loved Holloway. I loved what his energy and what he created in terms of players. That for me is what really bonded me with QPR was that team. So for me, Holloway will be for me personally always the number one. Another person I absolutely fell in love with him when I was younger. And again a proper character. So that's the one for me.
Yeah, I think Ollie, his level of motivation. The first time he was here, it was just fantastic. The way he motivated the players and the club in general. I would say he's
Yeah.
really.
That energy that we had and that togetherness, everything was just such a special time. Even when we've had other teams that have been more successful, I still look back at that one as being a real good time in our history. So loved
Oh,
it.
that's fair enough. I reckon it's a good choice. Um, can you remember where you were on the 25th of May 2014, which just happened to be when Bobby Zamora scored that winning goal at the Wembley playoff final?
Right in the middle behind the goal as it went in. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well
I
done.
do. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And then yeah, going out into around Shepherd's Bush and that after was just a most incredible day. That was amazing. But yeah, that moment was yeah, what can you say?
Yeah, I still get goosebumps when I watch it, which is really weird. You shouldn't do after all this time, but I
And
do.
I think that you must have probably watched that goal what 1,000 times and you
Yeah,
still you know
it still looks magic
yeah.
when he goes over and knocks over the corner flag. It's just great. Um,
Absolutely.
so I'm going to guess that you were there also when Leeds were beaten 4-0 this season, and we staved off.
Yeah. Incredible day. Yeah, just that game where everything just came together, didn't it?
Yeah,
Superb, absolutely amazing.
I was stunned, absolutely stunned. Well, and delighted, of course. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it was magical, absolutely magical. Okay, do you have a player that's really disappointed you in terms of their performance versus the hype, maybe that they had when they were coming in, or their unavailability because they couldn't stay fit?
Yeah, there's probably two players that I think probably stand out a little bit in that sense. I would say, I mean, he did, to be fair, finished the season quite well, but Jack Colback, the massive,
Oh,
overall for me, there's ports in the season where he's either injured, suspended. The needless bookings are criminal. I think in our last two games, he did the same thing twice with kicking the ball away. And for somebody that lives on that, playing on that, cusp of, danger every single time, to just give away such cheap bookings the way he does, yeah, bizarre. And again, frustration. He's actually quite a really good player as well. It's not that he can really does
Yeah.
bring something. I think probably the other one as well, Reggie Cannon. I kind of, when he came in, I thought he looked really, like he could do something. And I mean, to be fair, Dunn's form was outstanding, wasn't it, towards the end of the season? But I really did feel he would come in and make a bit of a bigger impact than he did. But maybe, as said, with a full preseason behind him, and if he can, get a chance, maybe it'll prove us wrong. But yeah, I hope we can see a bit more of him.
Yeah, good point about Reggie Cannon. I mean, I think really perhaps coming in and seeing the championship close up was probably a bit of a shock to him. And then, as you say, I mean, Richard Dunn suddenly became a born-again defender.
Mm,
He's just incredible. He's
yeah,
done really, really well. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of competition on that right back side, definitely.
absolutely. Yeah, good to have that choice, though, eh? From what we've had over the,
After
past few.
after all the problems we've had in the past with centre
Yeah,
backs, how nice like that. It's just up front. We just need to sort something up there. But
absolutely.
so you told me you were 30 something. Do any of your siblings or children follow you in supporting the R's?
Yeah, so I've just had a little girl, so she's 4.5 months old now, but she's 100% going to be QPR for life. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, my brother's QPR fan as well. Must be honest, I've given him a bit of stick because I don't know how everyone else feels about this, but he's a QPR fan, season ticket holder for quite a number of years, and he's had a little girl on called her Zola, which
What?
I thought was a sick joke, but he has actually called her that. So that's a bit of a problem for me. But that to one side, I know, Brian, what on earth is going on? But apart from that, so no, it is that technically a QPR fan. So he says.
Okay, well that's good. That's good anyway. And did your mother ever support QPR?
No, my parents weren't big football fans. My auntie it was a QPR fan and used to go for years when she was younger. But to be honest, my parents not really. No, I just absolutely, yeah. I said from that first game I went to Cardiff, I absolutely fell in love with it.
That's good enough. I mean, actually, that's hard. I mean, when you hear about people whose grandparents went, their father went, and the mother went, or whatever, you understand the sort of hierarchy and how it's almost destined to be. But for you, I mean, it's you're a bit like me. I mean, I just turned up there, saw a match there, and that was it. Exactly what
Yeah,
you're saying. So yeah, I know
yeah.
how you feel. Okay, so finally, what do you think of Marty Cifuentes? And where do you expect the R's to finish next season? That's a dodgy one.
So, I mean, firstly, I think he's an absolute genius. To have done what he did with the greatest of respect, I think he's got one of the worst goalkeepers in the division for me, and we have absolutely no attack. To somehow get that team to stop conceding and start scoring goals is absolute miracle. So in the way he's done it, playing the way he does is incredible. I'd love to see him with, we'll see obviously if he has got any headroom with financial fair play and if he can bring a bit more. But yeah, I'm very, very much yeah, I'm so impressed with him. I think he's a miracle what he's done. In terms of expectations, next season's a really, really tough one because looking at that squad and he did, I mean, that Leeds game, nothing more so kind of typified it than that, but he does have a knack of being able to get results out of, with really, really limited options. So for me, I would love to see us have a really good, comfortable season without having to worry about going, down or anything like that. And I do think we'll have that. And then anything extra from there is a bonus. But I think we've got an exceptional manager, and I just hope he can stick around for long enough that we can kind of, do something hopefully quite special with us.
I totally agree with you there. You're talking about Ollie. Ollie was a man of the times. That it was the right time to have Ollie there that first time, and it really made a difference. And I think Sia Fuentes is now exactly the same. If we lose him, I'm not sure how well they'll do after that. So
Yeah,
got to hang on to him, get a striker or something, and then especially now that Lyndon Dykes is out, and then see how we go from there. But
absolutely. I think we all suffer a little bit of trauma from Michael Beale, don't we? We're looking every single time,
yes,
we're thinking, please, no one take him. But I
well,
think he's,
don't
I think
trust
we've got a
anyone.
good one. I think we've got a good one. I think we can trust this one, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's got one more season with us, I think at least. But anyway, Right. So come on, what position are we talking about? You sort of hedged that one.
Okay, let's say I hope for, yeah, so mid-table 12th, 13th, I think would be a really, really good season for us. And with the hope that maybe he can do something a bit out of the ordinary and push us a bit higher, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I accept that that's it's an unfair question. It's a loaded question, really, because we haven't had the transfer period yet. I think as it stands with his record of success and whatever, I think you're about right. You're about right there. I think that mid-table's about right. If we get a decent striker in or two, who knows? You know, if Armstrong comes good or Frey comes good, we could be doing a lot better.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we could. I just think that with your, there's going to be, especially with kind of losing Willock. I know he didn't contribute a huge amount last season, but losing that, it's a big summer for us, isn't it, this one? So we'll see how we do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's been a delight talking to you, Saffa. Many thanks for your time. Appreciate it, and hopefully everybody else will have enjoyed your comments as well.
Pleasure, Brian. No, thank you very much for having me.
It's grand. Thanks a lot.
We
Take
know
care.
who we are. You know who we are. We are QPR.